Alex Conant is the former communications director for Senator Marco Rubio, and he's now a partner at Firehouse Strategies. He joins me now from Washington. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Yeah, good morning.
So we are, of course, going to get to this speech, but first I want to talk about the trip to Louisiana. Donald Trump and his running mate, Mike Pence, they are set to tour the flood-ravaged area of Baton Rouge. But how do they avoid making this look like a photo op? I know Representative for Governor John Bel Edwards made a suggestion to them as to how they could avoid making it look like a photo op.
Well, it is a photo op, and I think it'll look like a photo op. But look, I mean, as long as they are there for the right reasons, which is to see firsthand the damage that was done, to show empathy with the victims of the flooding, it's going to be a positive event for them and their campaign. And it's the sort of thing that they need to be doing more of. They need to be connecting with voters. They need to be connecting with Americans, especially Americans that are suffering. I think too often they only talk to their own base. I think it's good for them to get out of their comfort zone and go to areas like the flooding and act, dare I say it, presidential, doing things that you would expect presidents and presidential candidates to do.
Yeah, well, the representative for the governor said, hey, maybe you could make a donation or volunteer and help out people a little bit. But in regards to acting presidential, certainly some people have suggested that when they heard the shift in tone during last night's speech. Do you think maybe that what we're seeing here is the signature of his new team? You think we're going to look back and be like, this was a turning point?
Well, his team says that he wrote the speech himself, that he spent a couple of days working on it. It is way too early to tell whether or not this is an actual turning point. I think that there is a general recognition by Trump, by his family, and by his closest advisors that he is on a path to lose this election badly. I mean, on the current trajectory, he will suffer an embarrassing defeat this fall. And so he has to do something to try to reset the race. Giving a speech like last night where he tries to turn the page on some of his past controversies, going to the flood area this morning. This is all an attempt to try to turn the page, to try to reset the race. His problem is that it may well be too late to do that. Early voting starts in a couple of states in just a few weeks. He's behind badly in almost every single state that is important this fall. So he has to try something different. I think the speech last night was an attempt to do something different. His schedule this morning is an attempt to do something different. We'll see if it's successful.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned that his team says that he wrote the speech, no doubt. But I'm wondering if you see the fingerprints of Steve Bannon or Kellyanne Conway. I suspect Kellyanne Conway for sure, but what about Bannon?
Well, I don't have any inside knowledge and the inner workings of the Trump campaign. I will say, you know, there were reports earlier this week that Roger Ailes is quietly advising Donald Trump. And this speech last night strikes me as something that Roger Ailes would recommend that Donald Trump do. It's turning the page. It's telling a story. It's being empathetic with the audience. It's trying to relate to people in ways that they understand. And it's uncharacteristic of Trump. And so it's going to get a lot of attention, which is what he needs. He needs people to be talking about something other than his past controversies. And that's what that speech did. So I don't know who suggested that speech to him, whether it was one of his daughter or one of his sons or son-in-laws, or if it was one of his new advisor, or if it was Roger Ailes. I do think it was a good approach. Probably too little, probably too late, but it's not going to hurt.
Yeah, definitely a shift away from the sort of doom and gloom, which is what he was criticized for during his convention speech. It seemed a little lighter and hopeful. And then we go to the new TV ad that has popped up this morning in a number of swing states. Let's play that.
In Hillary Clinton's America, the system stays rigged against Americans. Syrian refugees flood in. Illegal immigrants convicted of committing crimes get to stay, collecting Social Security benefits, skipping the line. Our border open, it's more of the same, but worse. Donald Trump's America is secure. Terrorist and dangerous criminals kept out. The border secure. Our families safe. Change that makes America safe again. Donald Trump for president.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
All right, Alex, how would you grade it?
I mean, I just don't understand the strategy there. He's not losing because of his position on the issues or Hillary Clinton's positions on the issues. He's losing because the vast majority of Americans do not believe that he has the judgment or the temperament to be president of the United States. And that ad does not help alleviate those concerns. I think before you start doing those sorts of contrast ads like we just saw that they're beginning to air this morning, you need to let people know that he's capable of being president. You need to be able to convince people that he has a judgment to be president. And that starts with bio ads. That starts with retelling Donald Trump's story, something that they tried to do at Cleveland but was largely overshadowed by other things there, including the divisiveness in the Republican Party. I think he needs to tell his story before he goes out there and tries to make the case that he's better on the issues than Hillary Clinton is. That's not his problem right now. His problem right now is that people don't think he has a judgment to be president.
Right. Alex Conant, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank you.